Welcome to this week's edition of Inside the Huddle. Let's get right to the action with highlights from last week. It's homecoming at Ursinus, and Juniata comes to Collegeville. The Eagles get off to a fast start. Here, quarterback Ward Udinsky teams up with Devon Mitchell on a 50-yard throw and catch to give Juniata a 7-0 lead. Juniata extended its lead to 14-0 as Udinsky calls his own number up the middle and goes 49 yards to the end zone. Became a 21-0 lead when Udinsky teamed up with Colton Myers in this 6-yard pass, and when Kyle Shuck pulls in this 7-yard aerial from Udinsky, Juniata led 28-0 at halftime. The Bears got on the scoreboard on this tough 1-yard run by Jason Golderer, but after that, it was all Juniata. The defense took over here. Brandon Fearless drops Golderer in the backfield. Linebacker Ethan Wilt picks off quarterback Chris Curran and returns the ball into Ursinus territory. And Nick Stubbs added the coup de grace. Juniata went on to defeat Ursinus 28-7. This Friday night lights in Baltimore as Dickinson takes on undefeated Johns Hopkins. The Blue Jays got off to a quick start. Here, quarterback Robbie Mady throws a swing pass to Bradley Monday, 5 yards in the end zone for a 7-0 lead. Dickinson comes back with a little trickeration to set up the game-tying score. Cedric Madden throws a halfback option pass to Colin Rogers 37 yards deep into Blue Jay territory. That sets up Mike Capone on this 10-yard run to tie the game at 7. Then the Hopkins offensive line took over. Freshman running back Stuart Walters kicks outside and runs 49 yards to the end zone to put Hopkins up 14-7. And to adjust your computer screen, a nearly identical play. Walters cuts back again, finds running room 44 yards to the end zone to make it 21-7 Blue Jays. Adam Kaminsky adds a 36-yard field goal just before the half to make it 21-10, but after that it was all Blue Jays. Here, Mady finds tight end Brendan Hartman in the end zone to make it 28-10. Then teams up with Jared Beekman on a 22-yard touchdown to make it 35-10. Cole Linnell finds the end zone for Dickinson's lone second-half touchdown, but Johns Hopkins went on to win his 16th straight regular season game, defeating Dickinson by a score of 42-17. McDaniel got off to a fast start against Franklin Marshall. Here, Mike Kuzar drops Scott LaValva in the end zone for a safety. The Diplomats would come right back. Quarterback E.J. Schneider scores on this 7-yard run, and F&M leads 7-2. F&M made it 14-2 on this 12-yard pass from Schneider to Jordan Zachary, but McDaniel made a 14-9 game just before the half. 5-yard pass from Ryan Yamada to Akwil Tweedy. Franklin and Marshall took over in the final 30 minutes. Here, Tim Muller catches the tip ball in the end zone to make it 21-9, and Schneider scores on a 24-yard run around right end. F&M defeats McDaniel 28-9. A pair of 3 and 2 teams met up at the battlefield. Muhlenberg struck first on this 14-yard pass from Nick Palladino to Michael Long. Gettysburg came right back. Zach Miller finds Aiden Twir in the end zone for 7 yards, and the game is tied at 7. But for the second straight week, Muhlenberg kick returner Cody Geyer broke the game open. Here, fielding the punt at the 27 and finding running room, and he goes 73 yards for a touchdown, the first punt return for a touchdown by a Muhlenberg player since 2003. Place kicker Robbie Fay booted a 32-yard field goal to close the gap to 14-10, but after that it was all Muhlenberg running back Kevin Van Laar. Van Laar scored 3 second-half touchdowns on short runs. The Mules claimed the Old Tin Cup, defeating Gettysburg 35-10. A pair of teams looking for their first win met in Selinsgrove, and Susquehanna jumped out to a quick 10-0 lead on a Spencer Huddling field goal and a Mark Rosenbaum touchdown run. Moravian would strike on this Robbie Moyer to Jalen Snyder Scipio pass, which set up David Fiumara's short field goal to make it 10-3. Moravian defense came up big on this Kevin Bracken interception, but Susquehanna came right back, and Huddling's second field goal just before the half made it 13-3. Then the play of the game early in the fourth quarter, Cody Miller picks off Moyer and finds running room down the left sideline 56 yards for a touchdown to give Susquehanna a 17-3 lead. And Rosenbaum added the clincher, finding Denzel Walker in the end zone 35 yards to give Susquehanna a 27-3 lead. Moravian scored 2 late touchdowns, but it wasn't enough. Susquehanna defeats Moravian 27-17. Welcome to Coach's Corner. Today, we welcome McDaniel head coach Mike Hoyt. Coach, you saw a lot of good things in Saturday's loss against Franklin and Marshall. What things did the coaching staff see on film that gives you a lot of positive momentum going into this week?
Well, thanks, Steve, for having me here today. After watching film and seeing it live on Saturday and then watching film this week from the F&M game, we saw a lot of young players that are really starting to develop in terms of their fundamentals, understanding of our schemes offensively, defensively, and special teams. So we're really excited for the future. We knew going into the season we were going to be young in a lot of spots with a sprinkling of some seniors and upperclassmen. Halfway through the season here, coming off that bye week, headed into F&M, we feel really good that we're starting to get a handle on things.
You have one of the best running backs in the conference and certainly in the region in Joe Rollins. Talk about what it's like to coach a kid like that.
It's a true pleasure to coach a guy like Joe Rollins. It's very easy to coach a guy like Joe Rollins. Not only is he a great athlete, but an extremely hard-working young man, great attitude, an outstanding leader, probably one of the best players I've ever been around in my 20 years of coaching, for sure.
You guys do a nice job of spreading the ball around to him and making sure he gets the ball in a lot of open spaces.
Yeah, that's something that we talked about going into this season. He's our best player. We've got to have him touch the ball, 25, 30, 35 times a game if possible, and a lot of different ways. Handing the ball to him, throwing the ball to him. You saw on Saturday a new wrinkle that we put in for F&M. Getting him the ball, we lined him up in space in the slot as a wide out, threw the ball to him that way. So everything that we can possibly do to get him the ball, we're going to do it.
Defensively, it's been a challenge this year, but certainly one of the stars that has really shined is Mike Hoyt, our linebacker.
Yeah, Mike's doing a great job. We knew going into the season again he was going to be our top defensive player. He has really done some great things on the defensive side of the football in terms of leading our team in tackles, being a leader for the young guys in terms of the scheme and fundamentals, and just week to week helping the young guys know where they're supposed to line up, things like that. We've moved him to the inside. He was playing outside early in the year. We now have moved him to our middle linebacker. It's been a great change, I think, for him and allow him to kind of be a little bit freer in our defense and run to the ball a little bit more than being on the outside where he had some pass responsibilities, and then also people can run away from him a little bit if you put him on one side. So it's been a great change for him and our defense.
This week's opponent, Dickinson, coming off a tough loss at Johns Hopkins. What kind of things will the Green Terror need to do to be successful against Dickinson?
Well, we're going to have to play extremely sound in all phases. They're a very well-coached football team. Coach Bro's been there for a long time. He's an outstanding football coach. On the offensive side of the ball, they do a bunch of different things. They do them extremely well. So we're going to be very sound and disciplined on defense. Their defense is very well coached. Coach Quattrone's been there again as long as Coach Bro has, and they're going to be very sound in the defensive end of it. They do a lot of different things coverage-wise. So we're going to have to make sure our passing game, we're all on the same page so that we can get the right route combinations against the different coverages we're going to see.
Got to ask one final question. You've been on both sides of the ball when you play at Kenneth Gill Stadium. What's it like playing in one of the best college atmospheres, not only in Division III, but probably the country?
It is outstanding. I enjoy being on the home side now. I had a few years where I was on the visiting side, but it is a true pleasure. And against F&M here, we great homecoming crowd. It was standing room only all around the entire bowl here. Great game day atmosphere. You can't beat it.
McDaniel head coach Mike Hoyt, thanks for joining us in Coach's Corner today. Good luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Johns Hopkins puts this undefeated record on the line at the battlefield against Gettysburg. Can the 8th-ranked defense in the country slow down the high-flying Gettysburg offense led by wide receiver Aiden Twera? Franklin Marshall visits the Lehigh Valley to take on Moravian. The Diplomat defense, led by Brendan Wingirter, will try to slow down the Moravian rushing attack led by quarterback Robbie Moyer and running back Chris Negron. Ursinus takes on Susquehanna. Bear running back Jason Golderer is second in the conference in rushing. He has 5 100-yard games to his credit and looks for a 6th under the lights in Selinsgrove, but the Crusaders are looking for their 2nd straight win behind a powerful running game led by sophomore Tim Wade. Muhlenberg is the next team that will try to slow down high-flying Juniata quarterback Ward Udinsky. The Eagles have not won 5 games since 2003, but they'll be challenged by a perennially tough Mule defense. And McDaniel visits Carlisle to take on the Red Devils. Running back Joe Rollins is in the top 10 in Division III in rushing yards. Dickinson counters with dual-threat quarterback Cole Onell. Thanks for watching Inside the Huddle. We'll see you next week.